And you are watching TTV News from TayNinhTV radio and television station. And today headlines. Festival Day for Young Journalists, Youth and Students of Vietnam, Cambodia border provinces in 2019. TayNinhTV budget revenue in 2019 is estimated to increase by 22% over the same period. Converting 7,000 hectares of rubber land. Brilliant field of sunflowers at Ba Đen Mountain National Tourist Area. In order to promote propaganda and contribute to further strengthening the friendly relationship between the two countries, Vietnam and Cambodia, promote the role of the youth of the two countries, the Ministry of Information and Communication, in collaboration with the Central Committee of the Vietnam Youth Union, organized the Festival Day for Young Journalists, Youth and Students of Vietnam and Cambodia border provinces in 2019. The events were part of activity to celebrate the 52nd anniversary of Vietnam and Cambodia diplomatic relations. The exchange took place from the 5th to the 8th of November 2019 in Tây Ninh Province and Ho Chi Minh City, with the participation of 200 young journalists, youth and students from bordering provinces of Vietnam and Cambodia. A series of activities were organized in the framework of this exchange, such as planting trees, constructing friendship works for the youth of the two countries, visit outstanding economic models, visit cultural and historical sites, and the Ho Chi Minh City Press Center. In particular, a seminar on the role of youth in strengthening traditional friendship cooperation of Vietnam and Cambodia took place at the Quang Trung Subway City, Ho Chi Minh City. Deputy Minister of Information and Communication, Head of Steering Committee Hoàng Vĩnh Bảo, Secretary of the Central Committee of the Ho Chi Minh Communist Youth Union, Chairman of the National Council of Young Pioneer Nguyễn Ngọc Lương, Special Envoy of the Royal Government of Cambodia and Secretary of State of the Cambodian Ministry of Information, Lee Van Hong, attended and co-chaired the seminar. At the seminar, representatives of the press agency of two countries gave speeches on many issues related to the press situation, the challenges of young journalists on the trend of integration and growing strongly of social networks. The seminar was a meaningful and practical program, especially for young journalists, young people, and students of the two countries, to exchange and share their experiences to build a good Vietnam and Cambodia relationship on the basis of the traditional and long-term comprehensive cooperation. According to the Ninh Province Department of Transport, at present, the second phase of Đất Sét and Bến Củi Broad project is being developed to adjust in accordance with the Resolution number 15 of the Provincial People Council, dated July 11 of 2019. It is expected to launch construction in the first quarter of 2020. By the end of October 2019, the second phase of Đất Sét and Bến Củi Broad project had completed the clearance, measurements, and land price surveys. Currently, Human Châu District People Committee has announced land acquisition and the compensation price calculated according to the result of meeting content number 6060 of the National Assembly Delegation Office, People Council, and Provincial People Committee on October 2nd, 2019. The first phase of the project has been started since August 2018 and is expected to complete in February 2020. After nearly 3 months of construction, a rural traffic bridge connecting Phước Trung and Tràm Cát hamlets, Phước Trị Khâm Phiêu, Trảng Bàng District by Phước Trị Khâm Phiêu Youth Union, in collaboration with Tuổi Trẻ newspaper, has been completed and put into use. Attending the inauguration ceremony, there were Vice Chairman of District People Committee Hà Minh Giảo. This is the fourth bridge to be inaugurated by Phước Trị Khâm Phiêu in 2019. Bờ Hào Canal Bridge is built with reinforced concrete with a length of 14 meters, 3 meter width, maximum load of 3 tons. The total construction cost of 7 million Vietnam dong, sponsored by Agribank Lý Thường Kiệt branch. The bridge will create favorable conditions for people living and transportation. In 2019, TayNinhTV is hoping to collect more than 9,300 billion Vietnam dong from the state budget, reaching nearly 118% of the estimate, up 22% over the same period. Domestic revenues were 8,000 billion Vietnam dong, reaching over 108% of the estimate, up nearly 18% over the same period. Import and export revenue reached nearly 1,400 billion Vietnam dong, reaching 210% of the estimate, up over 59% over the same period. The increase in import and export revenues were mainly due to the increase in the number of lists of registered items for creating fixed assets. In addition, businesses that pay value-added tax on imported machinery and equipment to create fixed assets in 2019 are allowed to extend tax payments according to regulations. According to the Department of Taxation, when excluding the revenue and expenditure of land rent, the total budget revenue in the province is nearly 9,400 billion Vietnam dong, reaching 117% of the estimate, up 22.5% compared to the same period. All 9 districts and cities have achieved and exceeded budget revenues. Yên Châu district surpassed the estimate by 37%, the highest in the province. Currently, the Ninh province is preparing to work with the Vietnam Rubber Group about the purpose of using about 6,000 to 7,000 hectares of rubber land to deploy models of breeding and blending poultry with higher added value. By the end of October 2019, the rubber growing area in the Ninh province is about 100,000 hectares, accounting for over 37% of the total agricultural land area in the province. According to the orientation of the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, the cultivation area will be gradually reduced in unsuitable production areas, aging rubber gardens, and smallholder intercropping areas in other crop production areas. Currently, the department is reviewing the land fund for rubber blending and has a limitation policy to grow fruit tree in some units. At the same time, the department also cooperated with Indochina Agriculture Production, Processing and Distribution Joint Stock Company to survey the planned areas of conversion of April the 30 Rubber Company Limited at Châu Thành Farm and Chala Production Team to invest in the production of 100 hectares of Taiwanese mango and 300 hectares of South American bananas. Recently, many tourists coming to Bà Đen or Black Lady Mountain National Tourism Site are very enjoying with the brilliant sunflower field just below the foot of the mountain. This field of sunflowers is invented by the Tourism and Trading Joint Stock Company. Thousands of sunflowers in bright yellow, planted and cared by the company workers, are set to create a unique highlight for the rotation area at the foot of the mountain. The field of sunflowers bloom throughout the day, drawing a large number of people to take photos. From now till Lunar New Year 2020, the company will continue to invest in decorating small landscape walks, flower gardens, and flower roads, promising to create new and beautiful spaces for the tourist site. That just wraps up TTV News for today. Remember that you can watch the program online at TayNinhTV.vn or YouTube. Thank you very much for tuning in and goodbye for now.